Welcome to a sunny and warm Knockhill racing circuit for the second round of the Scottish Fiesta STs, and on pole position, predictably, is Wayne McCauley. Not champion last year, but a former champion, back on form in pole position, giving us the thumbs up there. He is going to be a man to beat in this one. I'll hand it to Richard, and he'll take us through all the action.
Thanks, Joe. Pole position, Wayne McCauley from Peter Cruikshank. Row 2, Barry Farquharson, and a welcome to Knockhill man Steve Hay. Philip Liddle and Nick Forsyth next. The XR2's headed by Duncan Fox from Robert Kerr and championship leader Graham Cuthbert. Round 3 of the championship about to get underway here at Knockhill. Pole position last time out, of course, was Barry Farquharson for the ST, so a little change round here. Back on form clearly is Wayne McCauley, who gets away well. Look at the 3 XR2s, the championship leader looking to slot in on the inside line. Robert Kerr is on the outside line, Duncan Fox on the inside, but the race leader now for the XR2, or is he? I was going to say he's now Graham Cuthbert, but the race being taken to him by Robert Kerr. Kerr leads down into Scotsman corner, runs a little bit wide. Cuthbert challenging for the lead in the XR2s, but Kerr has that. Duncan Fox will be kicking himself a little bit, started on class pole. Both Kerr and Fox newcomers in the championship, but out front Wayne McCauley getting away from Peter Cruikshank, then Barry Farquharson. The red car, the man joining the championship this round, Steve Hay. So qualified 4th, not a bad performance from him. And here come the XR2s again. Shame to see the numbers down in the XRs. There are cars out there if you're watching this and fancying a bit of motor racing here at Knockhill. Then talk to any of the drivers. Search for us on Facebook. Get in touch with the SMRC. Look how these 3 cars are so close together. Graham Cuthbert, the leader. Coming up the inside now is Duncan Fox. Fox is after second place. In fact, he's after the lead. And you saw Cuthbert go across to the inside line there just to cover that line. Graham Kerr goes to the outside. Amazing that these cars, of course, still running. It's been a staple of Scottish Motor Racing Club events for many, many years. There's a specific rule in the Classic Championship that these cars are not eligible. I guess at some point we might well see the XR2s in a classic class, but that's for the future. For now, we've got 3 very evenly matched cars and 3 great drivers all getting stuck in. Here's the view from Stephen Hay. We're watching the battle for second place coming along Hislops, and it's Peter Cruikshank, the longest serving driver in the championship. He's in the orange car, holds sway at the moment in second place. He's forcing Barry Farquharson on the outside line. Barry runs wide. Are we going to see Steve Hay nip up the inside? Great view for Graham Cuthbert. A little bit of blue sky overhead, a little bit of light cloud cover, and down to second place, because through into second place goes Duncan Fox, the Hamilton man. Goes through, had 3rd place in race number 1 back on the 9th of April. 2nd position in race number 2. The Cinquit says that he should maybe get a win in this one. We'll see how it pans out for him. And going through, Barry Farquharson through on the inside line of Peter Cruikshank. Cruikshank down to 3rd now in the 61. Had a brace of 3rds on the opening meeting, and therefore is 3rd in the championship behind Barry Farquharson. Barry had a brace of 2nds, Wayne McCauley taking 2 wins, and it looks like Wayne may well add to that in this one, starting to get away. Wayne McCauley 3/10 clear of Peter Cruikshank in qualifying. Cruikshank still, of course, capable of winning races, and I think been with us 20 years now, Peter Cruikshank, so this is 21st season of racing Fiestas, still being chased up the hill. Philip Liddle in the 88 car. Top 5 really, you've got to say, nothing really between those at the moment. There is Farquharson still chased by Peter Cruikshank. Wayne McCauley already popped in a quick lap. Barry Farquharson trying to hunt him down. So there is Stephen Hay in the red car, running in 4th position where he started and building his experience as a circuit racing newcomer. As you can see, Wayne McCauley, look at the lead that Wayne has got at the moment. The Forfar man starting to get away, and it's really, I guess, for him going to be a question of taking fastest lap if he can, and also what sort of lead can he build by the end of the race. So Barry Farquharson in second place, the man who was XR2 newcomer champion last year, and rather than contest the overall XR2, deciding to move up into the STs. And what a sound move that was for him. Wayne Macaulay, champion in the STs in 2015 and 2014, won the XR2 championship in 2013. So multiple titles, and we can go back. This championship has its roots back as far as 1996, when Alan Keith won the first of 4 titles. Look at the battle for the lead again. Graham Cuthbert, great move again on Duncan Fox, but Fox is fighting back on the inside line, side by side action in the XR2s. And I think we're going to see Robert Kerr try and join these guys as well, but a fine battle going on between the pair of them. Here's the onboard from Cuthbert once again, coming down in towards Duffus. Keep your eyes over on towards the right hand side. Cuthbert leaving room there. I think he maybe is expecting a challenge from Duncan Fox. Comes out of Scotsman, still in lead position. Fox still there, and as you can see, Robert Kerr, the Glaswegian, still there in third place and not that far behind, certainly not being left. Great shot of them going through the chicane and then up towards Clark Corner, the 3 of them all together and still enjoying a super race, which is now at half distance. You've got to say, this one looking like Graham Cuthbert at the moment. You'd probably bet on him being the championship leader. Duncan Fox has 36 points after the opening round in April. ST action still carries on. This, the battle for third. Peter Cruikshank being chased by Stephen Hay in red, and Hay really getting stuck in. Cruikshank defensive going up into Clark, comes slightly out. Hay might have a go here at the apex. This is about the run for Hay through Hislop's. Now, if he places the car right and there's a gap, he might be able to have a go. He's losing a little bit of ground now, Peter Cruikshank, going along Hislop's and down towards the hairpin. Wider line here from the 48 car. Hay might now be able to get a run out of the hairpin. Is he going to look up the inside? No, he again goes a little bit wider. This could be about momentum up the hill. Cruikshank hasn't lost anything at all. I'd hate to have a guess how many laps around Knockhill Circuit Peter Cruikshank has done. It's certainly not in my repertoire of statistics. But Cruikshank, the man who's done the most race starts, the most career points in this championship as well, having started off in the XR2s, champion ultimately in the XR2s in 2012 before moving up into the STs. And I think would sure give the English Championship ST runners a good run for their money if the championship ever visited up here. You can see the C on the back of Stephen Hay's car. That actually alludes to the fact that these cars are Class C in the English Fiesta Championship, as it were. Meanwhile, Wayne Macaulay's leads come down. This is a super effort from Barry Farquharson, who's closing in. Farquharson with the fastest lap of the race, banged in a 62.3, and he's closing in on what has Wayne Macaulay got a problem? Certainly as the race gets towards the closing stages, Macaulay seems to be being closed down on. Graham Cuthbert still out front at the moment in the XR2s. So Macaulay, how much pressure is Wayne Macaulay under? I don't think at the minute that Farquharson is close enough to challenge. You can see here as we go side on to the 2 cars, when they're at full tilt, it looks like about 5 or 6 car lengths that Wayne Macaulay has over Barry Farquharson. So they're both going to consolidate their respective places in the championship. We've got a challenge on out front. Graham Cuthbert was coming under pressure from Duncan Fox and getting close as well as Robert Kerr, who hits the gravel and goes round. Kerr's in the gravel. Let's hope that he can rejoin, and that could well have unnerved the front 2 ST runners, but it doesn't. I think the XRs have done a great job. They're not going to be lapped. Robert Kerr finds himself a lap down, obviously, but hopefully will rejoin. Graham Cuthbert coming under pressure, and Cuthbert could probably do without the extra lap because he's still running in the race leaders. Wayne Macaulay takes the win from Barry Farquharson, just 2/10 in it at the flag. What a race between those 2 at the end. Peter Cruikshank completes the podium. Then it was Stephen Hay. Philip Liddell is next coming up the hill in the 88 car. Confirmation of the result, Wayne Macaulay from Barry Farquharson, who had fastest lap. Peter Cruikshank next, then Stephen Hay on his debut. Great result. Philip Little next from Nick Forsyth. Duncan Fox got the better of Graham Cuthbert on the last lap to beat Robbie Kerr as well.
Wayne, yet another Fiesta win. Not so easy though. Your mate Barry there is giving you a hard time, especially at the end. He caught up with you.
Yeah, he was catching up well. I think he had more consistent times than what I did there, because like at the start of the race the car was fine, and then it went really off and started understeer quite badly. But I mean, we managed to keep him off and keep the win, so hopefully we can do it in the second race, because if not, I think he'll be winning the second race.
I know that he's new to this, and he told me at the last meeting that you've been helping him a lot. I take it the helping is now completely stopped?
After now anyway, yeah. Well, when he beats me anyway, that'll be definitely stopped.
Well done.
Thanks very much, cheers.
Barry, second place. Wayne there's getting worried. I know you told me at the first round when you stuck it on pole position that he was helping you quite a bit. The help's obviously going to stop now. You're giving him a real hard time to take an outright win.
Yeah, well, I think the stopping will be happening now. Just to obviously put him a wee bit of pressure on there. But yeah, it was good actually getting a wee bit of battle with Wayne, and I thought I had to outside him at the hairpin, but just too late on the brakes and just went too wide.
Wayne's already told me that you're going to win the second one.
Well, here's hoping, and we'll try and see what we can pull out the bag so.
Duncan, XR2 winner for the second weekend in a row, second race meeting in a row, if you like, a newcomer's trophy and an overall win. It's going pretty well.
Couldn't get better, really. I'm quite surprised, to be honest with you. Great race with Graham Cuthbert. He kept me honest, I've got to be honest with you. But I've never had so much fun in a long, long time. Great race, nice and clean. I don't know what the times are yet, I'll check them out. But it's my second ever meeting, so I'm really, really, really pleased.
Fiesta race number 2 is about to begin. Wayne Macaulay on pole position where he normally is. I'll pop this door open and my cameraman can swing in this side, and I'll go around the other side and have a really quick chat with Wayne. Wayne, pole position, obviously you're used to being here, but you've got a hard time behind you. Your friend, and maybe ex-friend soon, is going to be giving you a hard time. He wants his first win and you're the man that's stopping him at the moment.
Yeah, no, we'll still stay friends, but I mean, it's going to be difficult to stay in front, I think, especially because the car keeps going off halfway through the race. So,
tyre pressures?
No, well, I really don't know what it is. We've made a lot of changes to the car over the winter, and now it's like relearning the car again, and we're not getting very far.
Make it exciting, give us a good race.
Yeah, well, we'll do. Cheers.
And with that, I'll hand it to Richard. Fiesta's race number 2.
Thanks, Joe. It's an interesting point that Wayne Macaulay makes about rebuilding the car and having to relearn it. You hear that a lot. Wayne on pole position for race 2. Barry Farquharson alongside them, Peter Cruikshank and Stephen Hay. Philip Little and Nick Forsyth on row 3. XR2 battle again, about to get going. Duncan Fox on pole. Graham Cuthbert is alongside. Robert Kerr will be keen to get in amongst those two as the race progresses. Blue skies, perfect conditions for Scottish Fiesta Championship Racing. 5 lights on, out go the lights, and off the line goes Wayne Macaulay, followed in blue by Barry Farquharson. Here's the view from Robert Kerr. Very quick start from Graham Cuthbert. Duncan Fox about to be relieved of second position here. The man that won the class in race number 1 finds himself down in 3rd. How competitive is the racing in the XR2s? There may only be 3 of them, but superb close stuff from those guys. The surprise off the start is Peter Cruikshank, who's down in 5th position. The orange ST, not the XR2 that we're looking at. Cruikshank down in 5th place, so he's got work to do. Up ahead of him, Steve Hay up into the podium positions for the first time. Philip Little in black immediately behind him, and already a little bit of space developing between everybody, so race pattern starting to settle down already. And Macaulay, you heard, predicting that he thought Barry Farquharson was going to be quick. Here's a challenge on by Little on the inside line of Hay, with Peter Cruikshank in behind as well. Cruikshank, the most experienced driver, as you can probably see from the yellow squares on the back of the 3 cars around him, all newcomers. Cruikshank though to the outside line of Little. I think he's going through the inside as well of Hay. Super move by Peter Cruikshank. 2 passes at 1 place on the circuit. The experience of Peter Cruikshank there. Wonderful piece of motor racing from the veteran of this championship, going past the 2 newcomers and doing so safely as well. So Peter back onto a potential podium and looking for a 4th podium of the year. Remarkable stuff from him, but a fair way down on the 2 leaders. And here's Barry Farquharson now looking down the inside line. Wayne McCauley left the door open here. Farquharson's got his nose in front, coming up through the hairpin. Keep your eyes right of shot. We don't know whether Wayne McCauley went for the cutback. Yes, he did. There he is. McCauley back in front. So a change of lead. We had a change for third place on that lap as well. Some great racing from the STs and indeed the XR2s. Robert Kerr still there in 44. Duncan Fox on the inside line, who won the class in the previous race, battling hard for second place. But it's Robert Kerr here at the moment, coming along the pit wall under the Beatsons Bridge. There's room here potentially for Fox to come through on the inside line. There wasn't when they got to the apex of the first part of Duffus. Now down into Scotsman Corner again, not particularly defensive from Robert Kerr, so maybe he looks happy at the moment with second position in the XRs. McCauley and Farquharson still there. Wayne McCauley, it's funny how things work out, because Farquharson was on pole position in April, but then McCauley took 2 fastest laps, and thus far things the other way round. McCauley fastest in quali and Farquharson with the quickest lap of the race in race number 1. Whether that carries forward to race 2 remains to be seen, but these two are very evenly matched, as you can see. Down through Duffus and Leslie's into Scotsman Corner again. Farquharson closing up under braking, and Wayne McCauley's car just a little bit dislodged there by perhaps taking a tad too much curb, but McCauley knows how to hang on to the car despite that perhaps overly aggressive posture. Here's the view from Farquharson again, closing in under blue skies. Can he get close enough to have a look? Classic piece of Fiesta racing here. They might be able to track each other or occupy the same piece of tarmac lap after lap. Some bystanders that could look maybe a little bit tame, but in actual fact what you've got is two very quick drivers matching each other wheel for wheel, inch for inch on the circuit. And that's what we're seeing here at the moment. Are we going to see a change for lead position? We're heading up towards halfway in this 12-lap race for round 4 of the championship. McCauley still out front. I sometimes wonder whether the speed and experience of McCauley and Cruikshank puts people off joining this championship, knowing that you've got to beat drivers of that calibre. But it is good, however, to see newcomers coming in, and let's hope that we see a lot more as the season progresses. McCauley now starting to move clear. The gap in race number 1 was only 0.2 of a second at the flag between those two. A change for third. Steve Hay up into third place now. So Peter Cruikshank is down to 4th. We saw a flash of red, followed by the orange of Peter Cruikshank's car, now down in 4th place. Are we going to see a different man on the podium for race 2? First and second still settled, so McCauley popping in the quick laps still. The lap times slightly quicker in this race than they were on lap number 1. It was a 102.3 for Barry Farquharson, the fastest lap of the first race. 102.7 for Wayne McCauley. And Wayne McCauley in this one having done a 102.6. Although, having said that, Barry Farquharson's fastest lap not as quick, so it looks as if Wayne McCauley has changed something on the car. Something is better for him and he's faster, but not as fast as the overall fastest lap in race number 1. So how things change as the day progresses, and you can see Barry Farquharson at the moment, no answer at all to Wayne McCauley, who still leads this one. The gap tending to seesaw a little bit. That's not the sort of gap that we've seen Wayne McCauley have in the past, where he's been away and down the road, and it's good to see. It's also good to see Stephen Hay still there in third position, and he's going to be delighted. The guest driver, I should say, not scoring championship points, Stephen Hay, but running in a separate guest class, which you can do here. You can come in, try your hand at racing. I think as a guest you're allowed to do that for 2 meetings, otherwise you have to register for the championship. But it's a good way of trying to encourage new drivers in. And Stephen Hay, I wonder if he's going to be tempted back. McCauley still out front. Barry Farquharson still gives chase, but to my money losing a little bit of ground at the moment. We've still got Graham Cuthbert in front in the XR2, so Cuthbert looking for a third win from 4 races of the year in the XRs. And Wayne McCauley looking to make it 4 straight wins. It will be, if he holds on to this, a third fastest lap as well from this season. Into the hairpin once again. I'll tell you what, just as you say Wayne McCauley is getting away with this, there seems to be that little bit of extra effort from Barry Farquharson, who close up. Whether that's down to Barry putting in a good lap or Wayne maybe making the odd mistake, but time is running out for the blue and white chasing car. Although having said that, Farquharson goes for the lead down into Duffer's Dip. They were side by side, and Wayne McCauley was under big pressure there, but he holds on to it. He soaks up the pressure. It's not something you see too often. You see Wayne McCauley out front and pulling away, and this is really showing what he's capable of in terms of soaking up the pressure. We've got the 2 XR2s immediately in front. Robert Kerr will be the first of those. They will see the blue flags being waved there from the marshals at Clark Corner. Are they going to be caught by the time they get to the checkered flag? Kerr will be the first of those. He's keeping plenty of room to allow the 2 STs to go through on the inside line. Here's the onboard of the lead battle going through. Duncan Fox immediately in front now, and up on the inside line goes McCauley. Has to take a tight hairpin. It's the run up towards the flag now. McCauley's going to make it 2 out of 2 this weekend, 4 out of 4 for the season. There is the checker, McCauley from Farquharson. A little bit further back, it is Steve Hay who is going to just take 3rd position from Peter Cruikshank, who was closing up on him big time in the closing stages. Philip Liddle in 5th from Nick Forsyth. Then Graham Cuthbert wins the XR2s. Duncan Fox, the top newcomer, and Robert Kerr completing the finishes in 9th.
Wayne McCauley, race winner. It's only May, but championship already looking like it's going your way.
Yeah, well, don't get too quick with that, because a lot's happened in the past couple of years halfway through the season. But I mean, that was a really cracking race. That was the best race of the year so far anyway, because Barry got me twice at the hairpin, but he overshot it a few times and I managed to get the cut back on him, so we managed to keep the lead and keep the championship going.
Barry, this first win, let's talk about it. When's it coming? Because it's very close now.
Well, I wasn't intending on doing the June meeting, but because Oulton Park as well, there's 2 meetings and funds are a bit tight, but I'll try and see what I can scrape through together and try and make the 2 of them, because obviously it's a double points, double header at Oulton Park, so you never know, it might come at Oulton, it might come at the next meeting, so just see how it goes.
You've got Wayne worried. I spoke to him just before the start there and I said this will be easy, and he said no, I'm doubting that I can even win this one.
Yeah, well, Wayne's had problems today with setups and stuff like that, and the car's not being handled right, but you never know, it might be putting a wee bit of pressure on him, but it is good fun at the end of the day, and we'll always still be pals anyway, so.
Graham, XR2 winner, well done. 2nd place this morning. Duncan obviously swapping positions with you now, a win each.
Absolutely, it was a cracking day. We started the day with a nightmare in qualifying. We had a brake failure in lap 2. Brakes went to the floor going into the hairpin, so we've been chasing our tails all day. So this is just reward for the guys that look after my car. Absolutely thrilled to get the result, and hats off to the guys that look after us, because we wouldn't have been here otherwise. End of.
Well, unfortunately, that brings today's racing to a close, but what great action we've seen all day long. Make sure you tune in next time for more of the same.